to the podcast What's Next from and with Carmen Cornelia Haselwanter. As an expert in self determination, I deal with topics such as success, joy of life, passion, and health, so that you may take many inputs for yourself. Enjoy listening to this episode. In today's podcast, which got the title Some People Age, Others Major, I would like to introduce you to a very unusual person. Her name is Rotraud Kiesewetter, an Austrian lady, age 73, and she is outstanding in all of its kinds. In the German version of the podcast, I have had an interview with her, and I would like to give you a summary out of that because the message Rotraud is sharing with us needs to be heard by everybody, also the English-speaking association. So therefore, I would like to tell you what Miss Rotraud, a very good friend of mine, and besides that, a great example for wise and mature people, same such as also young ones. Let me just give you a quick overlook what Rotraud was doing in her life. Now, growing up in an Austrian city near to Vienna, she actually decided, together with her boyfriend by that time, to travel out of Austria. And then they decided to go on a cruise ship in which she and her boyfriend by that time were like starting to work. After some months of traveling and working there, they decided to step out, to disembark of the ship in New York, and from there to travel around America. By that, they were actually ending up in Cape Cod, where they started to lead a hotel for some years. In the meantime, she gave birth to 2 children, and because of private issues, her boyfriend, by that time then the father and the husband of hers, well, they split up, and she, being then suddenly a single mother of 2, decided to return to Austria. Over there, then start to work on her own, since her husband were like leaving her all alone with the experience and of course also the responsibility of growing up the children. Rotraud is a person which is not focusing on the problem but on the solution. And all over her years, she always proved well that she always tried to look up on the bright side of life, be encouraged, and always getting to know new things. That's not only showing her being in that young age already willing to disappear from her home and travel around the world, but as well then being a mother and having all the responsibility on her own to find good solutions for herself and as well for her children, which she did very well. She actually was then in the situation that when she turned 61, she realized that she never really thought about pension. She never really thought about how actually to make sure that she has a good living. So by that time, she actually discovered that her living, her pension, is not good enough for a good life. It's not good enough to make her living in a good world. So this is when she started to look up for another opportunity in order for her to have a good life and to make sure that all her expenses are actually going to be covered. So this is when she gets to introduce to networking, something which by that time she was not really known, but her benefits and her strength of approaching to people and to talk to people was of in this case of a good benefit for her. And this is when she started over 13 years ago with network marketing. A lot of people were by that time really skeptical about that. But since she discovered that this product which she actually sold and she offered to the population was of great quality. And this is also one of the reasons why Rotraud does not look at her age of 73, 74, but much younger. Now, what is all about what Rotraud is giving to young people, but as well to older people, to mature people as an advice. And my personal opinion on that is that is a very wise advice. Over the years, she met quite a lot of people at her age or even younger, which did not go for this task to enjoy life for its best. Instead, they were claiming that they don't have this and they miss out of that. Most of them are having actually a good health, but instead of enjoying every day for its best and making sure that whenever they were doing something were for the benefit of themselves but also for the others, they were keeping on, not really enjoying life. So Rotraud clearly gives the advice of making sure that everyone is enjoying every day for its best, is enjoying by traveling as long as the body and the mind is able to do so. So please step out of your house and travel. Doesn't really matter if it's a big distance, but only a short one. The fact is that you make sure that you make the best out of your life every day at its new. And this, from my point, is something very, very important. Because let's face it, life has a certain amount of numbers. And it doesn't really matter how many it is, as long as you make sure that every day is of its best, that every day you live like it would be your last one. And no matter if you're 17 or 70, fact is that you are here in this very moment. And fact is as well what Rotraud gives us as a very good example and as a very good input is that today is today, yesterday is yesterday, and tomorrow is tomorrow. But if you manage to live every day for its best, that you live every day at its full capacity, you will have a great day, that's for sure. Out of all, I have to admit that it was a big, big pleasure to have Rotraud in my podcast. It especially goes along with the title and with my meaning of why I am actually holding this kind of podcast is because I would like to give voices to special people such as Rotraud. We all can learn from each other. We all are supposed to go along and to make sure that we help each other. And we all go along with the fact to make sure that we reach out hand and we pass out advices and learnings. Why do rebuild the wheel if you have already done it? So let's share knowledge, let's share experiences, and let's share as much as possible. And Rotraud is a very good example that no matter where you're standing, no matter where you are, and especially no matter how old you are, it only matters that each day when you get up, you're thankful, you're great, you're thankful about what you have, you're grateful about who you are and all the paths and ways you had been able to go to walk. And as long as your mind and your body is in a good health, make every day by traveling, by getting to know new people, by being curious, by stepping out of your comfort zone in order to discover this bright, colorful world which is just ahead of you. So, so beautiful. I want to give a very, very warm thank you to Rotraud Kiesewetter to be with us. And if you want to listen to her, so please feel free, ready to go also on YouTube, because there is where we have the direct interview being broadcasted. So my dear out there, thank you very much for listening to this broadcast, to the podcast which had today the title Some People Age, Others Mature. I definitely gonna go on that version to measure instead of older aging. Thanks a lot and make the best out of it every day. Thank you for listening to Your Mindset Mentor. Talk to you very soon again, and in the meantime, make sure that every day you live yourself in the best version because you're worth it. Take care, all the best, bye bye.